case was openly declared and announced, has a reason, has a background. Normally, God does not give verdict person to person regarding the living beings as individuals. God gives verdict about categories, as I told you earlier. But there are certain exceptions which take place. Now, in case of Abraham's father, the problem was that Hazrat Ibrahim ﷺ had promised him that I'll pray for your forgiveness. And he started praying for his forgiveness. Allah didn't like it because he did not want to refuse Abraham's prayers. He was so close to him. So the Holy Quran says that as far as the keeping of the promise is concerned, God let him do it for a while. But then told him, Abraham, he was an enemy of mine. And from then on, Abraham stopped praying for him. So that is the reference in the Quran which explains everything in itself, doesn't it?
Right,
thank you. Yes, please come. You can also come and wait in the line.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum.
So my question is about the laws and the legislations, how they will be implied, how when Jamaat Ahmadiyya, as it's spreading very fast, when they will be in a separate states or in the form of a country, would it be
You see, the question of legislation is a question of politics. You're talking in that area, of that area. The Holy Quran does not give you any, let's say, constitution for a country to be run politically. Nowhere in the Holy Quran it is mentioned. Only one condition is laid, which is very clear, which should be common to all governments which come into play under Islamic supremacy. The rule is, إِنَّ اللَّهَ يَأْمُرُكُمْ أَن تُؤَدُّوا الْأَمَانَاتِ إِلَى أَهْلِهَا وَإِذَا حَكَمْتُمْ بَيْنَ النَّاسِ أَن تَحْكُمُوا بِالْعَدْلِ. Just two principles are laid down and the rest is left for the people to judge. Whenever you cast your vote, here amana means a trust in the form of vote, expression of will. Whenever you come to a stage or a point where you are required to cast your vote, express your will, do it with honesty and integrity. And cast your vote in the favor of the one who most deserves it. That is one angle from the point of view of those who cast votes and vote people into the government. The only direction given is this. Now, if you are voted into power, then what happens? Then the same verse goes on saying in the second part, إِذَا حَكَمْتُمْ بَيْنَ النَّاسِ. When you are in government and you begin to decide and dispense with the affairs of the public, then أَن تَحْكُمُوا بِالْعَدْلِ. Then you must always dispense with absolute justice. Rule with absolute justice. Decide with absolute justice. So what is this absolute justice? Absolute justice puts all the various followers of religions and sects and beliefs and political dominations at par with each other. There is only one single platform. Civil rights will never be judged according to the beliefs, views, doctrines and practices of the people. The government is bound to dispense the matters of government with absolute justice. This is the only form of government which I read in the Holy Quran. Right?
You're right. But would the Qaza be deciding the...
Again, according to justice. Now the justice demands that if I don't believe in a let's say Sharia or a divinely revealed law, it should not be applied to me. Only in matters of common human interest. There are two areas of laws. Those laws which can be applied universally on the basis of human practices. There, some religions may have given you guideline regarding those laws as well. There, those laws will be applied equally to Muslims, non-Muslims, etc. alike. And that will not be injustice, because even if they didn't believe in Islam, the treatment of such a given crime would remain to be the same. So, if not through religious principles, through democratic principles, those who are in power, who command majority, they can legislate in accordance with what they think to be right. So that is not unjust. But the areas where even the human relationship are directed differently to be carried according to different religions, there it would be unjust to impose religious laws of one religion on the followers of another religion. Now the best illustration of this can be given in the lifetime of Hazrat Rasul Karim Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam after he migrated to Medina. He signed a charter of understanding, of code of conduct, in which Jews, pagans, Christians, Muslims were all signatories. He ruled Medina not as a prophet of God, but as a custodian of the trust which was laid in him by the population of Medina. So the ideal Muslim state came to be born automatically. In the area of justice I am talking about. Whenever there was a dispute between a Jew and a Muslim, or a Jew and a pagan and a Jew or somebody else, he inquired from both parties, which procedure would you follow? Would you like me to follow? Would you go by common law, by traditions and practices of the Arabs? Would you require me to decide on the principles of Islam as I understand them, or on the principles of your religion? So the choice was always left to the parties to a feud. And when they were satisfied, they agreed on the one procedure. Rasulullah Sallam always decided according to that procedure. That is why the allegation of the Jews that Rasulullah Sallam mercilessly killed, ordered so many Jews to be killed, is totally false. Because when they were conquered, they were again given this option. They said, we will like our case to be decided through arbitration, and through arbitration of our choice. So Rasulullah said, all right, go ahead and do it. Give me the name of your arbitrator. And they named one Muslim arbitrator who they thought was always sympathetic to that tribe of the Jews. And it was the decision of that arbitrator, according to their own Shari law, that they were put to sword, all of them. So where is the blame on Rasulullah Sallam? In fact, in that act he proved himself to be a paragon of justice. He gave them the choice and followed their choice to the letter. Right? Yeah. The second one?
Yeah. A quick question to your earlier answer to interest. So you said that if state rewards people, well, it's not a form of interest.
Right.
But it's the other way around. If people borrow something from state and state asks for the interest of
that is interest.
It's interest.
That is interest. It never happened in the life of Rasulullah Sallam. That becomes exploitation and usurpation.
That's right. Yeah.
Right? Correct?
Jazakallah.
Thank you.